Let's dial in your cable side chop. One of my favorite movements, probably the favorite for a core rotational exercise, the most underrated way to train our core. Most people aren't doing it, and I'm gonna show you how to execute this effectively. First, a quick backstory, because to execute this effectively, we need to understand just a little bit of anatomy and our goal outcome here. We are aiming to primarily train our obliques, our side abs, and our rectus abdominis, which is our six-pack abs. Now, those exist in between our rib cage and our pelvis. They attach to both, but what this means is that with a side chop movement, we want this area of the body to be what's moving and driving the movement and initiating the movement. And so we want to actually try and limit our hip movement as much as we possibly can. Let's dive into the movement itself. So we're gonna use the cable stack. I've got a normal D handle here, and we're gonna step out far enough so that when we get into this starting position where hips are facing forward, arms are over here towards the side of the cable, that the cable stack comes off the block just a little bit. So we already have some tension in there, and we're not gonna bonk the cable and really mess up our movement. So get some of that tension to begin with, and then again, focus on these hips being forward because we're trying to limit that movement as much as we can. We wanna lock in our arms. So we wanna pretend like we're a toy made in the 80s that has no joints yet, and our arms are just locked in place because again, we want our core to drive the movement. We don't want our arms to be pulling the weight. We're gonna aim to keep our hands in line with the center of our chest, with our sternum here. And so line that up to start. Again, shift those hips to be as front facing as you can. We're not gonna be able to eliminate movement with our hips, but do so as much as you can. We're gonna let the chest lead the movement. So really drive the chest to bring that weight across, to bring those hands across, keeping the hands even with the center of your chest, hands even with that sternum. And you'll notice as soon as I started doing this movement, I stopped looking at you, I stopped looking at the camera, and I'm staring right at my hands. Where you look, where your eyes are pointed, your body tends to follow. So if our gaze is somewhere other than our hands, then it's gonna be tough to keep everything in line the way that we want. So keep your eyes on your hands, and that's the biggest tip that I can give you to make this nice and pretty